Hey, entrepreneurs, are you trying to make bigger profits in your small business? Like many of us, I'm sure you're feeling it. Business is hard, and now more than ever, you need to have a plan to help your business not just survive, but thrive. And it can happen as simply as thinking with the end in mind. I'm Marcia Reiner. I'm a business growth strategist. I've helped tons of small business owners to establish and implement a tangible plan that guarantees increased profitability, guides your growth, and plans for your future exit. Because a business worth selling is also a business worth owning. And I want to share strategies that I've earned and learned with you on today's Profit with a Plan podcast. But before we get started, I have something to share with you. I've put together an insightful and think outside the box live web class on Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. It's specifically designed for you to help you learn how to turn your business into one worth selling. Even if you aren't thinking of selling yet, why now? Join me and find all the benefits that come with a sale-ready business. Register for free at exitwithaplan.com. All right, listeners, I have a super treat for you today. My guest is Kate Hancock. She's a serial entrepreneur and an international speaker who's built 5 successful businesses in less than 10 years. She grew an e-commerce store from just $20 investment into a $1 million revenue company in just a year. She has a hotel, Britannia Sa Parioso. I think I pronounced that correctly.
You did
Which has been named one of the top hotels in the country. She is also part of OC Facial Center, which has been named twice in Inc. 5000 list of the fastest growing private companies in America. She created a community on Clubhouse that grew from 0 to 95,000 people in just 10 months. Where she impacted over 7 million entrepreneurs and produced the longest running virtual summit in the world that ran for, get this, 85 days straight, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She loves the Web 3.0, which is what we're going to talk about today, and has co-founded the Metaverse Collective to help other entrepreneurs succeed in their ventures too. Welcome, Kate.
I'm honored to be here. Wow. Thank you.
I know, that's cool. Quite a resume there on the introduction. This is lovely. Right. So here's the excitement. Many entrepreneurs are just doing the traditional stuff, right? They're picking up the phone, they're doing mailers, advertising, they're trying to reach their ideal client to be able to sell their services and do the things that they need to do. We're going to introduce to you maybe a new level of business relationship and connection to a community that you may not have thought would be a perfect home for businesses. So, Kate, tell us a little bit about the Metaverse and how business owners might be able to utilize that.
Yes, absolutely, Marcia. Well, to kind of give you a perspective, what is the Metaverse? The Metaverse is the next generation of the internet. So it's the internet on steroids, right? So to kind of give you a little bit of background, Web 1.0, that's your boring website, Marcia, that's flat. And Web 2.0, this is the Google where we can do some search. There's some social interactions to it. This is your LinkedIn and Facebook. And as we are heading to Web 3.0, which is exciting, this is way immersive experience. And I'm going to give you a little bit of example. What's the difference between Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 when it comes to e-commerce? Because I'm sure a lot of us entrepreneurs have our own e-commerce store, right? Web 2.0 is your Amazon.com, where you go shop and put everything in your cart and Amazon ship it to your home. Now, Web 3.0, you can recreate your office. I can recreate my own store. Nike can recreate their own store in the Metaverse. So you go there walking, shopping for a Nike store, and you browse different shoe style, and the avatar or Nike salesperson can talk to you about the story of that shoe that you wanted to learn. And think about that for a branding perspective, your storytelling is way immersive and personalized. And talking about conversion, I mean, that's the way for us to sell. So that is the Web 3.0.
Love it. Love it. All right. So listeners, to put this maybe in a little bit of a different perspective, you get to step into your computer. Think about the movie Player One, where they put on the headphones and they become this avatar or person or character inside the computer. And isn't that how you're connecting and you're being? You create this thing inside your computer by just jumping in?
Yeah, but to experience the metaverse or Web 3.0, we don't even have to wear Oculus. A lot of companies, we can just look our phone and everything is in a three-dimensional object. So we can go to our desktop right now and host a party in the metaverse. Like, you're probably doing a sales call in a Zoom. Like, how boring is that, right? You can
Right.
gamify it by recreating your office and have everyone sitting in a beautiful environment where it's more engaging because it's cool.
Yeah. I love it. What an experience, right? Isn't that the what all of my gurus are saying, that it's no longer customer service that you're providing, but it's a customer experience. And if you can get your customer engaged in a virtual world to communicate and then talk about your products and services and offers, I mean, how cool is that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Marcia. And for entrepreneurs, let's give you an example. If you're a speaker, if you're an artist, right? You have to rent. With the pandemic, of course, we're not allowed to do a lot of events are canceled, right? Definitely the Web 3.0 heightened because of the pandemic, we're limited. So instead of you renting a whole stadium, where you're kind of limited of how many people can put out there, everything's 6 feet apart. I mean, there's so many restrictions, right?
Oh, right.
You can host right now a summit in the metaverse where you can charge people with tickets and all the sound, the VIP seats compared. I mean, the people that paid $5,000 to be in front of your stage will have the same noise experience as the $300 seats. And you can have millions of audience because everyone in the world can attend to your summit in an engaging way. So think about that.
So I like this. So obviously I'm not a rock star and I'm not going to get on stage and start, playing the guitar or something, but I could have a presentation, or I could bring speakers in, or I could play a game, right? I could imagine that we're out there. I play ice hockey. So I can imagine I'm playing a digital hockey game where someone didn't have to know how to skate. They just had to follow the rules and figure out how to play the game. And so it becomes an engagement. So I think it's a fantastic way to get your clients to really, truly experience you. And that, to me, is a fantastic way to separate yourself from the competition, is having that differentiation where you're doing something cool and come experience me in this world. So I love the idea. I love the concept of it. Here's the question I have for you, though. Is it expensive to get into the metaverse, or is it something that's open platform and free?
Okay, for you to build your own space in the metaverse, it's definitely pricey because technology is not there yet. We're probably about 6 to 10 years out, right? But there's a lot of free platform where you can experience it you have your own office. You can actually invite some of your friends or staff for as maximum 50 people because it requires a lot of bandwidth to have more than 200 people. So you can go to spatial.io. There's beautiful spaces out there. You can create your own customized office or store. So there's some free, but for you to have a personalized stadium or a big conference, it's a little bit pricey at this point because.
So what is the definition of pricey?
I would say it ranged from $100,000 to $1 million to build your own customized. So it's not really affordable to a lot of us, but there's some free options there. And there's a lot of investor that willing you to rent their space. So you can be a landlord.
Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah. So me personally, I actually acquired some virtual lands in the metaverse. So this is.
So you can, wait a minute, hang on. You can own land in the metaverse.
Yes, absolutely. So I acquired the Blue Dome of the Santorini because that's one of my favorite places. And you can flip it for a higher price. You can be a landlord, or you can put billboards and make money in the metaverse.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of having multiple opportunities for it. Whenever I'm coaching my clients, I'm like, okay, let's create multiple income streams, right? So just because you've purchased or acquired this land, you can use it for advertising purposes, you can do it for resale, or you could sublet it out or rent it out like Airbnb. We're going to call this Meta B&B.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And here are some other opportunity for the entrepreneurs is the NFT world. I know it's a little bit confusing. What is a NFT, the non-fungible token? Like Marsha, you sell a course, you sell maybe a summit, right? So instead of you selling a regular ticket, which is boring, people get access to your Zoom, you can create an art, a digital art. It doesn't have to be an art. When people acquire that art, there is a utility or experience component to it. So I'm going to buy this Marsha's art, and then I have access to your mastermind.
Got it. So it becomes a backstage pass kind of thing with that. And so you would sell the ticket for, or the entry price would say be $97 or whatever. And then for $397, you get this NFT plus the backstage pass into my mastermind or whatever that might be.
Yes, that's the uses of NFT. Now the NFT, you can a lot, like Gary Vee created his own restaurant, exclusive restaurant called Fly Fish. Anyone who is an NFT holder are the only one that can go to the restaurant. It's not open to the public. So the exclusivity makes that NFT valuable because you're part of the community.
Okay, so hang on a second. So if I go to Gary Vee's restaurant and I have his NFT, I'm not going to eat there. I'm just going to experience the thing. So I'm going to possibly network with other people that have that same NFT and rubbing elbows with really cool people, right?
Yes. Because it's kind of like you're part of the club.
Like that.
NFT is your ticket to that community.
Love it. So how does one communicate inside the metaverse? Can they use their voice, or does it have to be typing in like text versions?
Yeah, so there is a micro. It's like you're at Zoom. There is a microphone in there. You can talk. Yeah, you can talk. It's like just a 3D Zoom meeting. But it's more beautiful space than a flat Zoom.
Love it. And so I can be young and thin and beautiful inside of that, or whatever I wish to be, or I could be the shape of a dog, right?
Yeah, you can be a tree. Yeah, you can be a tree. You can be you can be who you want to be. And like technology, there's always going to be good and bad, like anything else, right, Marsha? But I've heard for some people it empowers them because maybe they're a little bit taller than in a real world, right? Then it makes you feel good. So
the Kevin Hart theme, right? You're
yes.
You're a lot bigger than you really are at your 5'7" or 5'5" stance. So
yeah. And for entrepreneurs as well, aside from the NFT, this is really an opportunity where you can launch a product without requiring capital, because you can drop an NFT, right? And then, you pre-sell that. It's kind of like pre-sell. So that funds your project, whether you want to create an experience. Some people create an access to a golf club membership and they raise $20 million. There's people that launch an NFT where they're planning to buy an island. So there's a lot of projects out there. Wow. And so for us, when we launch the Metaverse Collective, that gets you access to learn all the opportunity in a mastermind about the metaverse. So instead of you, again, selling a boring masterclasses mastermind, there's you can mint or sell your NFT to your audience.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So let's talk about the audience. Give me kind of the demographics of the typical person that would be in there. We're not talking all 20 somethings, right? Or 15-year-olds. There's a diverse community of people in there, right?
Yes, unfortunately, right now we probably have a 1% of the NFT holder, and people knows about the metaverse. I mean, it's still it's still super early. It's still in its infancy stage. It is a mixed crowd, but right now we're seeing a lot of developer coder who's, of course, that's their world, right? So right now, that's the kind of audience what you're seeing more, but there's a lot of investor. Nike just bought they're building their metaverse in their Gucci as a high-end brand, created their Gucci garden on Roblox because that's their demographic. In the next few years, we're all going to be gone. They are warming up when it comes to branding to the future, of their customer.
So let's talk about an e-commerce site on there. So your sales associate would be in there talking to them about the shoes. Let's use your Nike story. Talking to them about this brand and this style and these colors and the fit on it. And then so I say I love those shoes and I want to buy them. I could physically buy them and then Nike's hard store will send them to my house.
Yes, absolutely. So you create your own digital wallet. So when you click, you connect it to your wallet and it just ship it to your house.
Awesome. And what are the common currencies in there? Do I have to go buy Bitcoin or whatever the coins are?
Yeah,
out
so
there,
it's mostly in Ethereum because Bitcoin is very expensive. So you can buy it through Ethereum, but now Shopify is launching their own NFT e-commerce where you don't need to have Bitcoin to mint anything or buy any digital goods. You can launch an NFT using your credit card. So as we move along,
and then it converts it automatically for you.
Yeah, you don't need to convert. You can buy anymore without transferring money to Ethereum or Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. You can just use your Apple Pay or your credit card.
Good, because that space is awfully confusing. I went up and looked up Ethereum today, and it was anywhere between $3,050 and $3,210 was the high. I think it was yesterday. And then I was looking and it said, oh, you're going to have a fraction of that to buy into this or to buy into that. And I was like, okay, high math, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely, if you're new, it requires a lot of patience to figure it out, unfortunately. And because of security, they made it like there's a lot of steps instead of you just used to Amazon 1, 2, 3 shop done, right?
Right.
Because of for security purposes, you have to go through several steps. But I'm very excited that Shopify is going to launch their own website so that it's open for more entrepreneurs to ventures in the metaverse.
Love it. I think that there's just so many neat things that we can do with this. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the strategies that you're talking to entrepreneurs about besides just hosting an event. What are some of the other things that we could do? So talk to me about the service professional. Maybe it's an attorney or a CPA or something along those lines. How could they use this?
Oh, absolutely. So you can, for attorney, you can be an IP metaverse expert because, of course, with the transfer of digital goods, you want to make sure that people are not copying your art, right, or music. So it's actually needed right now. They need more IP lawyers to get in there. For an accounting, I mean, kids or young kids are making boatloads of money. They need to have someone to offer them how to navigate their finances as they are getting funded really well, right? Or if you are super, expert when it comes to running a business, you can be an advisor to an NFT project or any gaming or metaverse projects. So there's so many ways that you can tap into servicing those projects. You don't have to launch your own NFT.
Got it. Oh, I love the idea. So this is so over the past few years, with the launch of cannabis and getting it in, it's like the wild west and prohibition kind of, world of what alcohol did when it released, and now cannabis is going out. I think this is the next thing.
Oh, it already is.
Yeah, this is, where there are opportunities where you can be an expert in that world. And I don't think the ramp up is really hard in the education. You just have to have an understanding of what's going on in the terminology, and then you can place yourself in there and start to get experience. So I think that there's lots of opportunity for us. That's if you want to specialize in that. But then again, if we're asking our customers or looking for customers to come to me for traditional services from the metaverse, I think there's still opportunity for that as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think rewards program, they're going to utilize a lot of NFT because it's trackable. Concert, when you buy regular tickets, I think they're going to use the NFT. Then, it's easy, it's recorded, it's properly recorded in the blockchain. I think there's so many use cases that this is just the beginning, but consumer, yeah, absolutely. We're seeing it now already. I think Walmart going to launch their own metaverse store. I saw the feature.
Wow,
and it's
that's
actually
amazing.
Cool. You're walking with your cart, Marsha, and it tells you, AI is talking about, it looks like you're needing milk today because they connect to your refrigerator. And yes, there's an option now. So you're not going to be the husband that get yelled at. You forgot to buy me eggs because,
right.
Yes, is that wild? And it tells you how much you have in your cart because it calculates for you and you see how much you're spending.
Well, here in Southern California, we have Amazon Fresh, where you can walk in with your cart, put stuff in, and just walk out the door because everything's reading it going into your cart. So it's here in reality as well. Now we're just going to go into a virtual reality that would allow us to have a lot of fun and have that experience with it. But I love that. And then my daughter, I don't do it. I go traditional shopping. I push the cart, I put the stuff in, but my daughter orders all her food online and has it delivered to her front door at 6 o'clock when she gets off of work. And so I think that kind of mentality, we must evolve and we must innovate as business owners and go where our clients want to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like the website. Who would think you need your own website back in the day?
Way back.
Right? Like, why would I need my website? I have my physical store. Now we got disrupted with e-commerce. I think the future, the brick and mortar store will just be a fulfillment center as we're heading towards the metaverse.
I like it. It's really interesting. Okay. So you've told us so much about this. Give us a couple of terms that we need to know. So in doing my little pre-research on here, I found that there were a lot of terms that I was like, what the heck is that? So NFT is the common term. And what is that again? That's
non-fungible token. So what is an NFT? So non-fungible token means it can't be changed. For example, anything in the world, what we have in the real world are non-fungible token, like your car, right? So Marsha, I might have the same 2021 BMW SUV, and I have the same 2021, BMW SUV, but I might have more mileage than yours, and I might get a little bit ding in my car. So your car is valuable than my car, right? So that makes it non-fungible. Now, fungible means I give you $1, I have $1, we swap. Well, we have the same value. So that's the same with the art, where that might be valuable to you because it has a meaning. So you're paying, that makes it non-fungible token. So that's the difference between the fungible and non-fungible token.
Love it. Love it. And then you can have the same picture, but it could have it could be one of 200, right?
Yes.
So there could be numbered. So it's not like you're going to have the only one that looks like that, but it could be a series of those pictures.
Correct. They
Or
have their
art.
called attributes where maybe a little bit of a hint of different color of that art, because computer can regenerate different, like you have one art where the computer can just regenerate with different colors.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So the other term I heard was DAO. So define DAO for me. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but
Yeah, so DAO is decentralized autonomous organization. So
okay.
what that means is everyone, no one's control your company. Everyone has to vote. So think about it when you buy stocks where you have to vote. You're like a stakeholder of that DAO. So the beauty of the metaverse or Web3, as we are hoping, is it's decentralization, meaning it's not controlled by Facebook or Google. It's for everyone. So that's what I love about the metaverse, because, hey, this is our chance where it leveling up the field to everybody. You get a chance to create your own ventures, your own business, whatever you want to be. No one's controlling it. Now, the fact that Facebook changed their name to Meta,
just going to ask about that.
It raised everyone's eyebrows who's building this decentralization the last 20 years. They've been building this the last 20 years. Now, because as we know, Apple changed the privacy of their device. So now Facebook are losing a lot of money. They can't do ads on any Apple users, right? Mm-hmm. I think they're racing to build in the Meta so they could own something, but they're kind of losing a lot of steam out there because no one's showing up to their events. So they're trying to delete a few of their events because
really,
yeah.
So they're the opposing force, in the world, because they did. I mean, all of us, anybody that markets knows that, when you put an ad someplace, that either Facebook or Google controls it, and you could be shut down and stopped in a heartbeat if you don't follow their rules and regulations. Not like we're going outside the line, yes. But, they could just wake up one day and go, oh, we're going to do this way now. And so there's a lot of investment into how to advertise and so on. So we've found that, Facebook does turn on a dime at times and cut you off, and your revenue stream, especially if you are heavily invested into it, that could really severely stop your revenue stream on it. So I can see why, inside the metaverse, and then crazily enough, they decide to change their name to Meta. I thought that was really, really interesting. Mm. And so without forecasting, I mean, they'll still be able to play in there like everybody else. They'll still be able to participate and be an active business, but they don't have the power that they once had.
Yes. So there is a resistance with the community because that's not what it's all about. This is decentralization. No one should control the metaverse. It's for everybody. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This has been a great conversation. Super eye-opening. It's we're on the front here, everybody, at Profit with a Plan. We're talking about interesting new concepts that we should be part of. We should be considering, just like way back in the 90s when you decided to go, I think I need to have a website, right? And then you thought, oh, I needed to have an e-commerce or some sort of web presence that I can transact on. Now we're like, oh, I need to have an experiential opportunity for my clients to engage with me in a different platform. And so it's where we're shifting gears and presenting new ideas to you. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, think about it for entrepreneurs. If your business, you're building a plane, you can't show your plane in a stadium or in a conference, but in the metaverse, you can have it all, and buyers can look at all your big, massive planes. So that's the beauty of metaverse. It's infinite. There's like infinite source of possibilities. There you go.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And it's necessary to evolve and innovate. So I think we should be considering and looking even if we're not building our own stadium, having the experience there and start to get in. And I'm so glad that I don't need to get those crazy headsets. I can work off of my phone and computer and still have the experience that I'm looking for. So that's good stuff. All right, Kate, this has been fantastic. Where can listeners find out more about you?
Yes, it's so easy. You just go to my website, katehancock.com. And if you want to learn about our Metaverse Masterclass, just go to metaversecollective.io. Yeah, we need more entrepreneurs in the Metaverse.
I agree. I'm gonna start dabbling, as long as I didn't have to, because like I didn't want to buy the kit. I looked online, I did all the research, and it's like I get a little seasick, so I was never really good with my kids playing the video games and that kind of stuff. So I'd rather have something that's user friendly to me. Mm-hmm. And the computer and the phone is natural for me to be able to get in there and engage. And I think I'm going to go get myself an office and invite and give some clients an opportunity to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Marsha, there's so many components and layers of the metaverse. It's not just the 3D world. There's, we're talking about XR, extended reality, right? That's basically what we're talking about today. But you can invest in the cryptocurrency. You can invest in NFT gaming world. You can do virtual land. You don't have to be in the space. So There's so many ways that you can do as an entrepreneur.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Kate. All right, listeners, I hope you have found an idea or two to put into your company that will increase and make you more profitable. I know I have. I know that this is something that we have to look into, and maybe it's a Saturday look for you. It's not, necessarily a Monday through Friday look, but I think it's an opportunity for you to get ahead and provide experience and meet your clients in a place that they want to be. So love this idea. Okay, so now more than ever, you need to build your business like you want to sell it. Don't forget to register for my new web class on how to turn your business into one worth selling, even if you aren't thinking of selling it yet. Maybe in a few months, that'll be in the metaverse. So there are tons of benefits to having a sale-worthy business. You want to make sure you catch this class. It'll be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Go register for free at exitwithaplan.com. As always, Kate and I would love to hear your questions, comments. Tell us about the NFT you purchased. Tell us about your experience in there and what you'd like to see. Just comment on today's podcast and tell us about what you'd like to see in the metaverse, and Kate and I will respond. And then don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all the great information on future podcasts. And as always, you can catch Profit with a Plan on any of your favorite podcast players. We're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's shows. So until then, make your plans and profit with them. Thanks so much, Kate.
Bye. Thank you so much.